Alrighty, so we have another battle here, Rayquaza 2094 here. It's a test battle, so Harley can test her dog team, and I had to wait till her and David Lee battled dog versus cat so I could show off her dog team, but now I can show it off. I've gotten the clearance. Woohoo! Anyways, I'm gonna go with Aerodactyl. She leads off with Mighty, and I'm not sure what these things do, because I don't see them too often. So I go for the Taunt, and she goes for the Crunch, which is a bummer. And I'm like, Toxic Orb, that's weird. And then I found out, oh wait, my Deanna can learn Quick Feet. That's kind of interesting. But with even with that Quick Feet, it's not going to be faster than Aerodactyl. I'm going to survive that Fatcade nicely. Yeah, Sucker Punch. Didn't see that one coming, actually. But it's okay. I got Sucker Punched. How sad. So I send in, I want to be the guy. And yeah, she switches out into her Suicune. I'm like, dang it. This is gonna suck, but if I switch out, it's gonna just allow her turn to get up a free Calm Mind, so I'm just gonna Aura Sphere. See how much damage it does. It does pretty decent damage. I'm like, ooh, nice. I like that damage. Yeah. And I'm just gonna keep Aura Sphering. Yeah, blah. And she goes for a Calm Mind, and I'm like, oh, this is sad. This is very, very sad. This is a terrible situation right now, because, yeah. I go for another Aura Sphere, and I was hoping that would KO it. It doesn't. I'm like, oh, Scalp, that's going to activate my Focus Sash. And it doesn't, which is amazing. I'm surprised. I want to be the guy actually survived. But he did get burned, so if I was a physical Lucario, that would have sucked. But I'm not. I'm a special Lucario, so I'm set, at least for a little bit. And then I get burned some more, and then she's just going to send in Justin. I go for the Aura Sphere. Maybe I was faster. I wasn't, obviously. But it didn't matter because I was probably going down to burn again anyways. So I switch in Nightmare. She goes for the Signal Beam. This is a specially defensive Umbreon, so I'm like set. I go ahead and Toxic her. And then I'm going to heal with some leftovers. I believe I go with the Wish next, if not a Curse. I'm pretty sure it was a Wish though. And then right here she gets a lucky crit, which was terrible. She's just gonna send in her Scotty. It is Eviolite, if you couldn't tell that. Yeah, and I go ahead and put up a Wish, and Toxic Scotty, knowing that this Toxic's coming, but I get lucky. Thank you, Hacks. It missed me. But I'm not wanting to stay in and get Toxic again, so I switch into Iron, who can easily resist that Toxic, as Poison is not it doesn't have any effect against Steel. So I'm gonna go for the Medium Mash. It does a whole lot, but Scotty survives thanks to the Eviolite. And then she goes with the Rest, which is interesting to see, I guess, that you're on the Rest on the Eviolite, especially with the lots of hard hitters like Metagross out there, but it's okay. So I go for the Meteor Mash. Just wanted to hit the Scotty, and holy cow, one hit KO right there, which was nice. I very much liked it. But I switch into Nightmare, knowing that this thing is probably going to Flamethrower me. And Justin does Flamethrower me. That's sad, but you know what? I have Nightmare in now, so I should be okay. Keywords on should. I go for the Wish, knowing that that Signal Beam was coming. And I wouldn't be able to survive 3 Signal Beams. Chances are I might have, I don't know. Not calculating in leftovers we gain or anything. So I'm just gonna go with the Curse and get some curses up. And then the Wish is gonna take effect, which is going to, with the leftovers, it's going to fully heal me, which is nice. And yeah. Basically, she's going to Volt Switch out because, well, she doesn't want to stay in, obviously, and she's going to switch to Scotty, and I'm like, oh, this is strange. Switching into Scotty when he's asleep. I'm going to go ahead and use the Wish, and basically, I guess, stay in. No, I don't stay in, what the heck. I guess I put the Wish up for Iron, and then I forgot that it has to be Baton Passed. So, I'm gonna go with the Zen Headbutt just to see how much damage it does. I'm a little bit surprised I'm faster, actually. Go for the Meteor Mash, just seeing how much damage it does. Scotty wakes up, and goes with a crunch and does pretty much nothing but pops my air balloon, which is kind of sad because, well, now I can be hit by, well, to say the least, earthquake. I get the Zen Headbutt, but I get haxed and unfortunately get paralyzed. I'm like, oh, Metagross, you know what? You can actually take some advantage right here and get some Flare Blitz recoil on this Arcanine. And it doesn't do as much Flare Blitz recoil as I had hoped, unfortunately. But I switch in Movie Victini knowing I can outspeed this thing. And then look at this. A lucky crit. Well, it might not be lucky because this thing was running Life Orb, so I don't know how much damage it actually would have done. But that crit was like killer. It kind of sucked. But it was a double KO since she took her Life Orb damage. I was going with Curse, thinking maybe this is a physical Lucario. And then it actually ends up, it's not, it's actually a Calm Minding set. Which was kind of a pain to work around. I didn't know how that was going to work. But I figured, well, yeah, as soon as I saw that Calm Mind, I'm like, oh crap, I'm done for. And of course I'm slower, so I was already locked into the Curse. And I'm like, yeah, well, I need to get that sub down so my next Pokemon doesn't have trouble with a sub. So I figured she was going to attack me, but she didn't in this case. She just goes for another Calm Mind. I went with the payback, knowing that I could survive at least a +2 Calm Mind. +3's getting a little iffy right here. And then she goes for the Vacuum Wave. Interesting move. Now that I know it's Vacuum Wave, I can actually survive pretty decently. Especially since that only did like 100 some damage. I'm in somewhat of a safe spot, at least. I could payback her, or I could Wish. I don't remember what I went for actually. I went for the Wish. Look at that. I went for the Wish. And yeah, this is actually a dangerous situation. She's just gonna keep Calm Minding. I think I start just paybacking or something. Because I'm like, well, there's not much sense in gaining stats, because she's just gonna take me out on the specially defensive side anyways. So I believe I just go for another payback, try and payback, get this thing's HP down. Yeah. And right here, she could have gone for a sub and actually been safe on, you know, she could have gone for a sub and been safe with another Vacuum Wave, but instead she Vacuum Wave first, which worked out to my advantage, actually. If she had subbed, I would have lost this battle. But now I get to show you my star player, who has a star on his head, because he's such a star. Crawdaunt with adaptability. Dream World, awesome. Which means that Waterfall just hit her with like 160 power. Pretty deadly. And then her Scotty comes in and almost goes out to the Stealth Rocks, but doesn't. I just went with the Aerial Ace to get the safe hit.